And on the 8th day of transportal, Coach Prime gave to thee 3 more commits. Bang, bang, bang. You think you gonna get what I already got? I swear to goodness, I think the publish button is the trigger, okay? It happened again, and 2 more happened since the first commit. I said it could be one of the Liberty players. I thought it would be the old lineman. He ultimately commits to Vandy. But the quarterback, Caden Salter, 6'1", 190, commits. And we got to talk about it. And that's not all. There's 2 more, possibly. What? It's crazy. It's crazy. We are coming down the train. Coming down the wire. Coming down. 10 days left in the transfer portal. Coach Prime said we got to get up and get going. Okay? Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing. Caden Salter, 190, 6'1". He is now a 4-star quarterback coming out of the transfer portal. And again, we talked about this when the news happened. When he hit the portal, I go, look, man, Caden would be a great pick for Colorado. I got a lot of flack for this because everybody, there's no way Julian Lewis doesn't get started. Do you think this kid's coming to sit? Maybe he is. Maybe he is. I don't see it. I think there's going to be a little bit of a handoff, a little bit of a transition, a little bit of comp at QB, and you got to like that. You got to like that. Look, you got a redshirt junior. You've got an experienced guy coming in that can sling the rock. Again, not eye-popping off of the page like a Shador Sanders was, but a very viable quarterback. This, to me, is not a shot towards Julian Lewis. And again, I brought this up because I don't think this kid's coming to play second fiddle. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it. I really don't. This kid's got a contract year. I think he's going to come in and, but if Julian Blue beats him out. I don't think it's just going to be a handoff to him. But it's like, hey, we expect you to come in and do things and be exceptional. And Julian Lewis is going to be giving you a run for your money. That is my thought and opinion about it. And some are like, well, you're calling Coach Prime a liar because he wants to, he said he was going to, make Julian Lewis a starter. And I believe that 100%. And a lot of these freshman quarterbacks come in thinking like, hey, I want to be the starter. And look, I think how this is going to go in all reality is they'll play it out and they're like, look, we're going to, you have every right to be the starter. And I think the game's going to move faster than anticipated. And honestly, in a way, say, hey, okay, I can take a step back. That's okay. I get it. I see it now. I want to be that guy, but I'm okay with learning. I'm okay with growing. If he comes in and knocks the socks off, then it's no problem. It's just Caden Salter lost out on a year. That ain't my problem. That's Salter's problem. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't see the conversation being, hey, we're coming in for you to be the second fiddle. You let me your thoughts and comments down below. I'm all ears. I'm ready to listen to it. I'm here to listen, and I'm here to see what you guys have to say about it. I don't see it. I do want to see where the Buffs are currently with the standings now with these recent additions. So they're still 30th. A lot of teams are moving around in front. They actually dropped down a little bit. 16 out with 7 coming in. Again, they've had an average player rating of 68.19 go out with an average player rating of 72.57 coming in. A team that is on an absolute burner, Texas Tech. Bunch of spit, some cheddar. They are landing anybody and everybody. One being, they landed the lineman. Joshua, I believe. No, SMU. He went to SMU. That Colorado was looking at from Oklahoma. He went to SMU. So both O-line targets that Colorado had originally had on their list, the Liberty kid and Josh, are committed elsewhere. Also, Gavriel, I believe, Lightfoot, phenomenal name for a defensive lineman, by the way. He also has committed, I think he's like 6'6", I believe. 6'3", 296, had 11 solo tackles last year at Fresno State as a junior, coming on in as a senior this year. Big pickup again for the Buffs, adding more beef, adding more juice to that defensive line. Again, really getting going here. And I said, I think the Buffs will probably end up around 18 to 20 probably commits. That's my thought out of the transfer portal. Now they sit again at 7. So I'm expecting more. I don't think it's going to be done. I think that's where they're popping a couple a day now because there's still a lot more to go. 2 big pickups today. There's another one we're about to talk about in just a minute. I actually called my recruiting guy to get his thoughts and opinions about it. He follows up these recruits very closely. The next pickup who the Buffs were able to get, and we'll talk about him in just a moment. But again, you see, I always show the stars to give everyone a kind of a reference of where they were and where they're at. I do have to raise my hand. I do have to apologize. I get kind of slander at times, and people get a little rowdy about clickbait and things like that. I'm not in the business of doing that. You have to get creative with your titles, yes. but I don't like to lie. And I misspoke today. I said that Mr. Hughes, the linebacker yesterday, was the number one linebacker. He was not. He is not the number one linebacker out of the portal. I misspoke. That was not intentional. When I looked at On3, my page didn't refresh properly. So I changed the title, but I had it at the bottom. I'd say he was the number one. That is on me. I don't know if anybody cared, but I like to keep it a buck. I don't like to mislead or lie. That is not the business that I am in. I don't believe in that. Do I get creative with titles? Yes, you have to. That is the name of the game. But I believe in keeping it honest, being myself, and hopefully you guys come back for that. I don't need to mislead or lie to get people to tune in. I don't believe in that whatsoever. So I do apologize for the miscommunication. He was not. The tight end was the number one tight end in the portal. I will die on a hill. That was not a misled title. The linebacker was not the number one linebacker in On3 or 247. He wasn't even close. So that's on me. I'm taking that one on the chin. I was wrong. So now we can move past that. I owned up to it. We'll move on. This is a massive pickup. Again, come my recruiting guy. He was a top 85 player and On3 when he came out in 2023. And I talked to him. I said, "What do you like here, man?" He watches all these kids' film. He's dialed in like nobody's business. And he said, "Look, 6'1", 187, 190, kid's a thumper. Played him at nickel, safety, has speed for days, worth of 4'10", I believe, 4'1". He goes, Oklahoma was in shambles when they lost Mr. Bakari Vickers. He's like, when healthy, this guy is an absolute treat on the football field. Could he beat? Because like I loved watching Shiloh on playing that safety. I know some people kind of were indifferent about that, but I just loved the energy and just the way that he kind of played with his head cut off. Very fun to watch. So that secondary room, I think this would be a perfect place for Bakari Vickers. Again, you saw how great the secondary was this year. And I believe they should have no issues with recruiting secondary and wide receivers. So love this pickup. I think it'd be fun to watch him play and really kind of see him explode and find himself playing at Colorado. Again, a top 100 player recruit, 4-star recruit at Oklahoma at one time. And again, I know stars don't mean everything, but it just lets you know, kind of, it reiterates what Coach Primus talked about. Right? Hey, we're not going to spend all this money on this talent early on. We're going to allow it to go through its process and then go after later on and bring them in. And so they have the talent, they have the foundation, and that's what you're getting. These are SEC caliber guys that were going to Oklahoma. And again, Oklahoma has like 30 guys in the transfer portal. They are in complete shambles right now. I don't know what's going on down there. I love watching it though. I do say that. And they have a massive flux of leaving. They had an okay recruiting class, and they haven't had much coming in. So it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back, but they're in a little bit of a funky place, I would say, at the moment. I would say, hey, let's see where they're at, but I think it would take too long for me to scroll if I had to. I know nobody cares about Oklahoma here, but, when in Rome, yeah, they have 24 transfers out. Yeah, they're in complete shambles right now with only 2 transfers in. So that's what's going on. Also, KC is being targeted heavily. There's just a little bit of a vibe happening right now. Jordan Seaton says, sign the dotted line. Could this be one of the kids they are talking about? This would be another big, massive pickup for the Buffs. Hayes Fawcett just tweeted out a little bit ago saying, hey, I'm expecting some big-time news in regards to the transfer portal later on tonight. So some big movement. I don't know if it's people going into the portal, people committing. Let me get his exact verbiage here because, again, he was always dropping the big-time graphics. And I got to be honest with you. Sometimes when he be tweeting that, it ain't that big. Some pretty notable transfer portal commits coming this evening. Commits. Could this be one of them? Could you see me again in just a couple of hours? Probably. I mean, at this point, I feel like I'm just one of the. I'm probably at dinner with you right now. You're probably eating dinner right now. I'm sitting there. I'm like part of the family at this point. I've been on your TV screens for the last 4 days, more than they probably should have. Right? The wives are like, who is this guy? Why is he constantly popping up? I'm trying to watch Netflix and chill. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? It's Coach Prime and chill now. Here we go. So we'll continue to monitor it as we have been. Okay? Buffs doing the thing, getting the guys they want to go after. I like seeing the process. It's getting cleaned up. You're seeing the target. You're seeing these things happen. I do want your thoughts, though, on the pickups today. I think the quarterback probably, in my opinion, the best quarterback, or the cornerback, the best pickup just because 3 years of eligibility, I think, is huge thus far. The quarterback situation, want your thoughts and opinions on it. I really do. Because I got a little blasted. And I love the accountability. It keeps me a buck. Same thing when I had the little linebacker thing. I ain't here to lie or anything. I give my true honest opinion. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong about the quarterback thing. I just don't see it. I really don't. I think he's going to come in. I think he's going to be expected to be the starter. Now, I'm not saying he can't be beat out, but this to me is a sign to say a transition, and I think it'd be a fantastic transition. I really do. If you think I'm crazy, that's fine with it. This isn't me. But what I don't like is people say, oh, you're calling Coach Prime a liar. No, I'm not. I think that he said, yes, Julian Lewis, you will have the ability to start right away. There is no quarterback at Colorado that has earned that spot, right? There isn't a Shedeur Sanders that is guaranteed the spot, right? And I don't think Salters can guarantee the spot. I was like, hey, look, you're going to be probably, there's going to be a competition, and he probably feels confident enough that, hey, I should be able to beat out a 5-star freshman, just given my ability. And he should have that confidence. That's how I think the conversation went. I don't think anybody's guaranteed anything. I think, hey, Julian, you're going to have the ability to be the starter, which is still true. If he loses out to that, that's on Julian, right? I think they'll play the best quarterback. We'll know that next. That's a September problem. That's a future problem that we can talk about. Be sure to smash the like button. Turn the bell on. I wouldn't be surprised if I hit publish and something else happened. At this point, literally, I think the Colorado, they're watching, right? And they go, when he hits go, we go. All right. So hope y'all enjoying the content. I'm enjoying putting it out. And we'll see. I'm sure we'll see you very, very soon. Peace and love, baby.